Yeah, go ahead. You have something to say?
You don't have to say it. I can just say it's just young, dumb, just being in jail at a young age and not really knowing what. Like our write-ups.
Yeah, but once you get several write-ups, the whole point of growing up is to learn from your mistakes.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you keep getting write-ups, then you can't just say I'm young and dumb. So I keep getting write-ups. I don't disagree that you're young and dumb, but this is ridiculous. I know our jail cannot wait for you to get out. Cannot wait. Mr. Coleman?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be brief since I put everything, I made the state's position clear and I've sent a memorandum. I'd like to briefly shift the focus from the write-ups to the underlying facts in this case, which I believe are
stealing out of cop cars.
Stealing from patrol vehicles, at least 2 patrol units, Your Honor. Detective Matt Dixon is here if you want to hear more details of the detective. But, Your Honor, I think the audacity, the boldness to steal these weapons from a police car goes to show what exactly the nature of this defendant is and what we're dealing with here. And even more than that, Judge, it appears from the underlying facts that the defendant may be implicated in a series of other car burglaries. We've got a Glock switch that converted one of those weapons into a fully automatic weapon. He was conspiring with another juvenile, a 16-year-old, to steal the weapons, which a photograph is attached to my sentencing memorandum if you've seen it. This was nothing less than an arsenal that these kids amassed, Judge. I shudder to think what could have become of these weapons if they would end up in the hands of other criminals, if they could have been used against law enforcement, Your Honor. Long gone are the days where there's a low caliber Saturday night special that these kids use, in some type of crime. They are loaded for bear with fully automatic weapons. I'd ask the court to make an example out of this defendant. He benefits from not having a criminal history to speak of, but Your Honor, this is beyond the pale. I'd ask you to send him, do 2 things, a split sentence in this case. Sentence him to prison for what he's done, and then following that, a consecutive probation period so that we can continue to monitor him and supervise him after he's released from prison. Thank you, Your Honor.
So I wanted to make sure, Mr. Coleman, I've done this type of sentencing that you're asking for on some different cases. I think the probation period, if I sentence him to probation today, I don't know that I can make that consecutive. So I think
I believe you can, Judge, and if you need to recess this proceeding, I can get you case law in pretty short order. I think you can.
Because when would it start?
It will start after he finishes his period of incarceration.
Okay. So whatever I give him, if I do at prison, and then I say it's consecutive with a probation, and does it matter if it's a straight or a...
I don't believe so either, Judge. But again, I'm happy to get you some case law.
No, I appreciate the idea. Again, we've done it sometimes. What are y'all doing? What are you doing with all these?
In Texas, a judge
Not shooting people.
Sir?
Not shooting people.
Not shooting people yet. What are you shooting? Why would you have these? What are you getting these to shoot at? Just to be tough and say you have guns? That's all that's happening with these guns on the street is y'all are shooting at each other, at other people, at houses, at cars, at whatever. There's no reason to have these kind of guns. These aren't hunting guns, right? You're not going to shoot a deer. Do you hunt?
I do.
Do you?
I have before, but
Have you?
Yes.
Which one of these is your hunting gun?
none of those.
You thought you were pretty bad breaking into a cop's car, didn't you? That is some nerve. I mean, seriously, you're the second person I've had in 11 years that has had the nerve to do that. Here's what I'm going to do, because I agree with But Mr. Coleman, I would like, at least in the indecency case, to get treatment and probation on that case so that we know you're not going to go make that type of bad decision again. But I'm not giving you probation on everything. You're going to, you want to change your life and do better and not be young and dumb, you're going to have some time to figure that out. So in cause number 24, DCCR 0389, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of possession of a prohibited weapon. Mr. Coleman actually asked me to sentence you to 5 years. I don't think that's enough. I'm going to sentence you in that case to 7 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You'll receive credit on that sentence for any time you've been in custody. And part of the reason I made it lengthier is because you have been in custody so long, and a 5-year sentence really isn't going to amount to much. Cause number 24, DCCR 0390, also find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of possession of a prohibited weapon. Sentence you to a term of 7 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will also receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In cause number 24, DCCR 0391, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, find you guilty of the state jail felony offense of theft of a firearm. Sentence you to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. Then in cause number 24, DCCR 0392, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, in that case, I'm going to defer all proceedings, place you on probation. No, that's the third. I'm going to find you guilty of that offense, sentence you to a term of 10 years in the institutional division, but I'm going to suspend that and place you on probation for 10 years.
Can I address the court on that? With a deferred, though, with the registration, it would, if he did comply after he got out, that he may have a chance instead of a conviction.
He's already got 3 convictions.
I understand that, but it's kind of...
May I respond, Judge? That is a reduced charge.
I agree.
I want to ask.
Can I give a straight on indecency though? Hold on. I think it has to be deferred. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to go back in that cause number, which ends in 0392. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to defer all proceedings and I'm going to place you on probation for 10 years. That will run consecutively to the other cases. So that probation does not start until you get out of prison. Then, if you violate that probation, you could be sentenced up